At the beginning of the season, during my predictions, I picked Manchester City to win the league. They won the league the season prior, and looking at them, I just didn't see any team overtaking them. I of course gave honourable mentions to Liverpool and Chelsea due to the moves they had made and the players that were coming back from injuries. But at the end of the day, I just knew that this Manchester City squad was not going to be stopped. What I didn't know was how overwhelming their dominance would be. Manchester City currently sit first in the Premier League with 11 points of second place. Second place Liverpool, who still have a game in hand, but 8 points ahead and we're only in January. This is crazy, and I don't think City are going to drop those 8 points anytime soon or ever really. Welcome back to the JVM Football channel, where you can find game analysis, football history, individual performances, top 10s, etc. If you are interested and would like more football content like this, please subscribe to the channel. This is another video in this state series. I plan to make these videos every Wednesday now, just talking about different things going on in the football world, just the state of things. This week I'm talking about City, the next week I'm talking about Bayern, and I'm still thinking about what I'm going to talk about on the 4th week of uploading. But yeah, that's the plan for now. Every Wednesday, state series videos. This week is City, next week is Bayern. But yeah, let's just go over this City squad. As I said before, they sit first with 11 points ahead of Liverpool. And what really impresses me also about this team is how they not only have the best attack in the league. Okay, Liverpool have one more goal, but it's technically the best attack in the league. But they also have the best defense and the most complete squad and the most, I would say, balanced squad in the way that all of their players chip in with goals and assists, all of them contributing to the bigger goal of the season, which is of course to win the Premier League. Manchester City's biggest display of dominance this season has to be their game against Manchester United. One thing is to beat your biggest rivals, another thing is to completely dominate them. We've seen like in derby games, like teams beating another 8-0, 6-0, 5-0, whatever, 7-1. We all know these games, but what City did to Manchester United was show them the difference in level, was to completely outclass them, and outclass them they did. In terms of possession alone, City had 67%, United had 32%. Shots on target, City had 5 to United's 1. Total shots, they had 16 to United's 5. And another thing which was just crazy about this game was how City didn't make a single substitution. How do you not make any substitution in what's meant to be the most competitive game, one of the most competitive games of your season? I think I'm picking this game because it really just highlights how dominant City have been. This team is killing everyone and everything on its path, and I knew they were going to win it, but not like this. Not this dominant, not this early on. Now, looking at their most surprising player, and arguably, I think I can argue this with anyone, and I think a lot of people would agree as well, the most surprising player and best player so far this season has to go to Bernardo Silva. I criticized Silva a bit because I always thought that although he was a good player, he was just like that guy that would come off the bench, do his thing, and then sit back down, or used whenever Pep wanted to do some specific tactics against a specific opponent. I didn't really see Bernardo Silva as being one of the focal points of a team, of this team specifically. But this season, although Bernardo Silva has only registered 8 goal involvements in 21 games, these numbers don't tell the full story of how impactful this man has been. Coming up with crazy plays during late moments in games, in tight games where the score is 0-0, he comes through and scores those important goals. Bernardo Silva is arguably Manchester City's most valuable player so far this season. in terms of that player to watch this for the season, which I picked Phil Foden. Well, he hasn't had a disappointing season by any means. He scored 5 goals and assisted 3 times in 14 games played, so that's 8 goal involvement. I just thought that Foden was going to have a bit more of an impact. I really thought that this season he was really going to take that spot of being their number 1 player, their go-to guy, and that hasn't really been what's happened. He's continuing on from the great season that he had last season, but not really improving on it, and it's not really disappointing. But if I had to go back at the beginning of the season, I would pick Bernardo as a player to watch. But yeah, I just want to see what happens with Foden and this City squad in the next few years, because this team is already good and their players are still young. I mean, Foden is one of their best players, one of their main players, and he's only 21. Another guy that's been having a great season and who's actually away now is Mahrez. Mahrez had a great season last season, and this season he's picked things back up with 6 goals and 4 assists and 16 games played so far. Another guy that is what I say about City is they're not only very dominant and have the best squad, but it's also very well-rounded, with everyone contributing to the end goal, which is of course to win the league, as I said before. And then we have Kevin De Bruyne, who this season has had 7 goal involvements with 6 goals and 1 assist. I mean, at this point I'm just milking it, so I'm just going to stop. We're not going to look into any more of City's players' numbers. They're all great. This team is just running riot. And yeah, so final verdict is what I said at the beginning of the season: they're going to win the league. And I just wanted to go to this state because I don't really want their season to go unnoticed. Yes, they are great. Yes, they are amazing. They are dominant, and we shouldn't take that for granted. Liverpool, Chelsea, and Manchester United made amazing moves in the summer. Made great moves. I mean, not really Liverpool, but Liverpool got their players back. Players that were in injury, mainly Van Dijk, and they kept their core, their main players. But even all of that has not been enough to stop this City squad. Not at all. Props have to go to Guardiola. At this point, we need to start talking about him and his time at the Premier League, because one thing was him doing it in the Bundesliga after leaving Barcelona and being in one of the richest clubs in the world, in a league where the money disparity is so big. But coming into the Premier League and doing what he's doing, winning titles and dominating teams and going on riots during seasons, I mean, just applaudable. One of the greatest managers of all times. But anyways, guys, thank you very much for watching the video until the end. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel for more game analysis, football history, individual performances, top 10s, etc. This is the beginning of something special, and it would mean the world to me if you subscribed and helped me to grow this channel.